welcome to Pet Talk with Dr. Lee. I'm your host, Tim Gant. We're joined today by, yet again, Dr. Lee.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Good. Good. Now, here we have some questions, from our viewers and stuff like that. We got emails coming in, and you have clients that are answering questionnaires and stuff like that. And last time on the show, I know you talked about heartworms were mentioned previously, and they're a big problem in dogs, but do people get them?
Actually, people don't get them. Extremely rare for a human to have a problem with heartworms. And the reason is, in order for a heartworm to survive in a dog, it has to mimic, to some extent, the dog. So the dog's immune system doesn't know the heartworms are there, or they would destroy it.
Okay.
Since they do such a good job of mimicking a dog, so they can survive in the dog, when a dog heartworm is in a human, it can't mimic humans, it's mimicking a dog. And our immune system says, whoa, what's that dog stuff doing in me? And our immune system will attack the heartworm, thinking it's the dog part, destroy it, and the heartworm doesn't get a chance to survive. So that's why humans basically don't get heartworms.
Humans 1, heartworm 0.
Correct.
You got it. Now, so do cats also get heartworms, though? Is that a thing they have a problem with?
Cats can. Now, cats are not dogs, and they have the same thing going for them. Their immune system is going to attack the heartworms. But cats, being evolutionarily a little closer related to dogs than humans, the heartworms are able, to some extent, to survive in the cats, at least for several years. And the end result is cats can have real problems with it. Problems they have are quite severe. The reason is the cats are small, the heartworms are fairly large, and the cat's reaction is immense. End result is a few heartworms can actually kill a cat, and we get sudden deaths from cats from heartworms. Because their immune system stops a lot of heartworms, cats don't get them as often as dogs. So the incidence of cats getting heartworms is somewhere around 1 or 2% that of dogs.
Now, can the immune system have adverse effects because it's trying to attack the heartworm? Can it attack the system of the cat also?
It does, and a large part of the disease is actually damage to the lungs and the blood vessels because of the attack on the heartworms. It's not really necessarily the heartworms themselves.
What does a heartworm do itself, though?
In the case of dogs, it lives in the heart, can block up the valves, and cause heart failure. One heartworm in a cat could potentially do that, but the primary problem is what you mentioned. It's actually the immune system going crazy.
Going crazy.
Now, the real problem is outdoor cats. And I mention this because if you have a cat that you let go outdoors, you really want to prevent it. The prevention is done with either giving HeartGuard, which is an oral medication, which many cats like, but unfortunately we all know that cats can be very finicky. If it's hard to give your cat oral medication to prevent heartworms, there is a spot-on. It's called Revolution. It's available at veterinarians. And it is applied to the back of the cat. What's nice about it, it's actually a very good flea prevention as well. So this is a flea prevention you apply once a month that will prevent heartworms in cats that go out. Indoor cats can get heartworms, and you should talk to your veterinarian as to whether your cat might be at risk from heartworms, although the mosquitoes are less likely to come indoors and bite your cat than they would be if the cat goes out.
Hey, and that's a very good way of preventing it with cats and stuff like that. And that is a different prescription than you get for your dog, right?
It is. It's for cats. It's very similar to the medication used for dogs, but you wouldn't use a dog medication on a cat because the dosage would be wrong.
It would be wrong, so don't do that.
Correct.
Talking about cats, there was a question about urinary problems in males. What is the problem in these cats?
Male cats frequently have a problem with their urinary tract. About 1 in 10 male cats eating diets that are good for normal cats will start forming crystals in their bladder. And these crystals will irritate the bladder. The irritation causes them to urinate frequently because it hurts and it feels like the bladder is full. Unfortunately, if the crystals go down the urethra far enough to where it's narrow, it will block up the cat. This means the cat can't urinate, the bladder gets enormous, and the urine backs all the way to the kidneys.
That sounds really painful and dangerous. I wouldn't want that.
You're right. And the cats don't want it either. You find them straining in a litter box, trying to go to the bathroom, crying, and if it isn't taken care of quickly, they'll typically die within 2 days.
Now, how do you treat that?
The way we treat it is to, first we have to obviously see the cat. So the most important thing here is that the owner is aware of it, which is why I like mentioning this. If the owner is aware of it, as soon as they see their cat straining in a litter box, instead of making the common mistake of thinking their cat is constipated and maybe treating it at home with some home remedies, they bring it right to the vet. If you bring it right to the vet, bring your cat right to the vet, we can examine him and make sure that first he's not constipated, which it almost never is constipation. Make sure that he's blocked, and then what we'll do, if he is, we'll sedate him, and it's sort of a plumbing job, really. What we do is insert a tube, make sure that we can flush it out, and then he can urinate. We give him fluids to correct the kidney failure, antibiotics, because they often have to deal with infection. Usually they're in the hospital until they're stable, if they're sick coming into it.
How long is usually the hospital period?
It depends. If the cat comes in late in the course of the disease, say on the 2nd day, and he's flat out and his heart has almost stopped because his potassium levels have gotten real high because the kidneys aren't working, if that should happen, we'll need to keep him in the hospital for a while to put him on fluids and correct his heart condition as well as other problems. But if he comes in early, hopefully he'll be home in 2 to 3 days.
Oh. Now, what is the best way of preventing this from happening? No, you don't even need to see him and straining and all that.
Right. The best way to prevent it, or the best way to treat it after the cat has gone home and you want to prevent it from recurring, because our big problem here is recurrence, is basically dietary. We find there's certain diets that seem to be less likely to cause this problem than others. These are called urinary diets. They typically adjust the amount of electrolytes in the urine. It typically controls the acidity of the urine so that these crystals are less likely to form. We find canned foods often are better than dry for this particular problem as well, to prevent the formation of the crystals.
And that's that on that subject, but more on the litter box.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. The cats are amazing because they seem to just use the litter box automatically, go to it, and just from a young age just start going. What happens when they don't go there?
Right. Cats are amazing. We don't seem to do much training of cats. You take a little kitten, you put them in a litter box, they like the feel of it, and they go right to the bathroom. And we take it for granted the cats are going to use that as their bathroom for the rest of their lives. And in general, we're right. Every once in a while, that doesn't work. And we realize it's really important. It's hard to live with a cat that urinates outside his litter box or her litter box. If they start doing that, the first thing you want to do is see your veterinarian, because it may be a bladder infection. If it's a male cat, he may be blocked, which is what we just talked about.
Yeah.
He needs to be seen immediately. If it's a female cat, it's unlikely she's blocked. But as I mentioned, she could have a bladder infection. That's painful, should be treated. There are other reasons why they may be straining too. Problems such as if they're older, we could worry about tumors in the bladder.
Okay.
But there are behavioral reasons as well.
Like psychological?
Exactly.
What do they need, a kitty psychiatrist?
Exactly. Sometimes we act as one, and there are such people that actually specialize in such a thing. The basic thing here is cats will urinate in the litter box to eliminate, but they'll also sometimes urinate against surfaces to mark it as territory. This isn't done as spite against people, although most people hate it, so they think it's spiteful. It isn't really spite. It's really territorial marking. In many cases, what it's all about is there's a cat outside the house, wandering around in front of the window, and a poor cat that's in the house is terrified that that cat's going to break in. So it feels a necessity to make markings all over the place to make sure that their house and their owners aren't taken over by this strange cat outside. There are various things we can do medically. There are various things that we can do behaviorally that may be able to correct this. You really need to see a veterinarian for help with this, because I do recognize it as a serious problem.
Now, doctor, does is that a quick process to solve that problem or no?
No, it's difficult. It requires patience, and it isn't always successful. It is difficult.
I just want to tell everyone, though, before we continue, that this is the Gloucester County Educational Network, and the show is funded by donations, and we need funds all the time. And I just want Dr. Lee to tell us about his pursuit, helping us with that.
I'll be glad to. Last year, I was approached by Mr. John Mondelli, the operations director for this network.
Very good guy.
Good guy. And he asked if I would be willing to dance in the Gloucester County Dancing with the Stars, a local television show. It's a competition between 6 people, each representing a charity. And we compete through August and September, representing our charity and trying to raise funds and awareness for our various charities. In this case, I'm dancing for the Gloucester County Education Network, which, in my opinion, services all the charities by spotlighting them, giving them air, and also being the television station that actually airs the program on which everybody will be dancing.
Yes, yes, and this program, obviously, of course, and
Yes.
And it's housed at GCIT, the Gloucester County Institute of Technology, graduate of there.
Excellent. That's
2009,
wonderful.
class 2009. But I went for business, not
Right.
communications. But I enjoyed it here, and it's a very good school to go to, and it's a great channel to watch.
I'm very impressed with this high school. I've been touring it. I am impressed with the students. I'm impressed with the its whole dynamic. I think they really have a good thing going here. I'm very happy to be representing at least one portion of it in the Gloucester County Education Network.
We're going to take a break right now. We're going to join our guest from an animal rescue. That is All They Need Is Love. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Pet Talk with Dr. Lee. We're joined right now by Carrie Peterson, and she's from All They Need Is Love. And
Hi, how are you?
good, how are you?
Good.
Now, what is All You Need Is Love?
We are a foster-based rescue for dogs and cats, which foster-based means they all are in our homes. We do use a kennel sometimes, but mostly they're in our homes so they can get training and things like that, and we adopt them out.
Okay, how did you get started with this?
I was called into the local animal shelter to help with a dog because I'm also a dog trainer. And I met my co-founder, Emily Richardson, who then begged me to take a dog home to foster, and it started from there.
How many pets have you adopted out so far?
Last count was 217.
Whoa, that is a lot.
Yes.
You do a lot of good work.
We try.
I've met 5 of them so far. I'd say they're really impressive. Very nice.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing this, by the way?
Since October of 2010.
October 2010.
Yes.
You want to take a look at our first pet? How about Winston? We'll have Winston come on.
Sure. Winston's blind.
Okay.
He's 8 years old. He was dumped in a local animal shelter when his owners just didn't want him anymore after 8 years.
Is it okay if we put him on the table? or
Sure. Let's just make
something?
sure.
Now, what kind of dog is he?
He's a Westie,
Westie.
so West Highland Terrier. He's very sweet. He does get along with other dogs. He does have a couple quirks. Chases cats, so you would never know that he's blind. He can certainly find them. And he's very sweet and loving.
What's he do when he gets the cat?
Nothing. He just likes to chase them. So I'd prefer to put him in a home without cats so he doesn't torment them, but
Looks like he chases people to get petted.
Yes.
yes, he's a real ham.
Loving dog.
Yes.
We have kittens, right?
We have Tommy and Gina, and they're 7 weeks old, so they'll be ready for adoption in the next 3 weeks.
Okay. Winston, no chasing.
Yes.
Tommy and
Kitties.
Gina.
Well, you have 2 kitties. Winston. The kitty has a white shirt.
I think one of the couple of those cats.
I think so.
That's the tie?
That's the tie.
There you go.
There you go.
It's a nice tie.
Oh, thanks.
So, yeah, so they're 7 weeks old.
7 weeks old.
They will be spayed and neutered in the next 2 weeks, and then they'll be ready for adoption.
Now, where'd you find them?
They are from the Camden County Animal Shelter.
Camden County Animal
Yes.
Shelter, and you just adopted them, and
We pull them as a rescue.
Okay.
So we went in and pulled 2 litters to get them cleared out a little bit, and then we'll adopt them out. And so all of our animals are spayed, neutered, microchipped, and up to date on all their shots.
Now, what funds your thing that you're doing?
People,
Just
donation.
People? Donation?
Absolutely, 100% donations.
Now, is there a way to contact you guys that you?
Yes, we have a website, www.alltheyneedisloveanimalrescue.com, or our Facebook page.
Okay, and which would be All They Need Is Love,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing you got the inspiration from the Beatles.
Yeah, it was
little
stuck
bit.
in my head when I was thinking of the name, and I just kept singing it for some
I
reason.
keep wanting to say all you need
Yeah,
is
I know,
love. Yeah.
and then you want to start singing, right?
Yes. Very good song.
I'd say, I'd suggest people get on the website, www.alltheyneedisloveanimalrescue.com.
Yes.
Animalrescue.com. Okay.
www.alltheyneedisloveanimalrescue.com.
All right, and see if you can find these kittens because they are something else. Very sweet, really nice to people, and they took the presence
Pretty.
of the dog very well too.
They live with a dog. Actually, this one, we have pictures of it cuddling with one of our other foster dogs. So they're used to being around everything.
They're obviously used to being loved.
Yes,
Hence, All They Need Is Love.
that's right.
How many people besides you and Emily and Maggie are part of this, by the way?
We have a lot of volunteers. I'm probably anywhere between 20 and 30, but who run it is Emily and I and a woman named Jamie.
Okay.
So the 3 of us run it, and then you can't do it without our volunteers.
And you're always looking for more volunteers, and they can just go to the Facebook page or
Yes.
the
Website and contact us. We're always looking for any fosters or just anything they want to do. We always have work.
I want to thank you for coming, and thank you, Dr. Lee. It was a great show, and hopefully we can see everyone back here next time for the next edition for Pet Talk with Dr. Lee.